Hello and welcome to the session Engage, Empower and Innovate with SAP Work Zone. Today we are introducing a new product in the market with SAP Work Zone. I'm Uli Hoffmann, and Product Manager in the Cloud Platform Unit for Digital Workplace Solutions. Together with my co-presenter, Desiree Moeller. Desiree.
Yes, hello all together. I'm Desiree Moeller and I work as a customer solution advisor in SAP Cloud Platform, and I will show you today a demo of SAP Work Zone.
Thank you, Desiree. So SAP Cloud Platform Extension Suite. You see three main pillars: digital experience, and this is exactly where SAP Work Zone sits: digital process automation and development efficiency. So let's look into the extension suite a little bit more detail. SAP Cloud Platform Extension Suite provides an ideal foundation for rapid business-ready application development. With a suite of services and development tools, you can deliver consistent collaborative experiences across all digital touchpoints and channels. Business users can increase productivity by interacting with applications uniformly across channels from web browsers to mobile devices. Extend business processes in your existing applications, automate repetitive and mundane tasks, and take advantage of ready-to-use business content and services. Optimize business processes and accelerate time to value by leveraging your current investments in SAP and non-SAP solutions, whether they are in the cloud or on-premise. The suite also allows you to adopt agile development approaches, making it easier to manage the entire application lifecycle, from development to deployment. Simplify development with low-code tools to create innovative applications faster with fewer IT resources, while giving professional developers flexibility to use the tools in runtime environments to fit their needs. So with this introduction about the extension suite, let's introduce SAP Work Zone. And on the right-hand side, you already see a short preview of the demo Desiree will present in a second. Short definition: a digital workplace service that provides a flexible and collaborative experience to connect people to information, business processes, and data to get work done quickly and efficiently. With this short introduction, I'd like to hand over to Desiree, and she will give us two demos. Desiree.
Yes, thanks, Uli. I will show you now a demo to the end user persona and the developer persona for SAP Work Zone. For this, I chose Stephanie. She's a team lead of the account payables team. Her background is more business administration, and she's looking for a central entry point. She wants to access it anywhere, and it should be prioritized to her needs. On top of that, she will get some information about parental leave because she's pregnant. Then I would like to introduce you to David, developer, whose background is more IT and economics, and he likes to use low-code tools as well as templates, an intuitive UI, and he wants to focus more on users' needs. Starting with Stephanie, she first will get some information about parental leave through her mobile app. Then she starts day at the office, and third, she will work through Microsoft Teams in SAP Work Zone.
So Stephanie is on the way to the office, sitting in the train, and she wants to access her work zone since she has some questions to parental leave. So she opens Work Zone, it's a native app, and in the start page, you see some feed, updates, and so on, as well as some projects. In the home page, she has now the search that she wants to head to, meaning here she inserts parental leave. And as you can see here, all the content provided to her that is in Work Zone for parental leave. She hits to the workspace parental leave and has all the information that she needs on the fly in the train. And she sees, all right, the workflow. She already did this for parental leave, but her manager did not react, so she wants to remind him. She sees some contact details and other stuff that is relevant for her. Not only that, but also the collaboration is an important point here. She can learn from others through forums, discussions, ideas, questions, and so on. So this gives her a good feeling going now to the office because she already knows all the information that she needed in terms of parental leave. Stephanie arrives in the office. She opens her laptop, and the first thing that she sees and that she's introduced to is her digital workplace, meaning work zone. So, this is her central entry point where all the data from all the different systems come together in different formats. So she doesn't need to open different tabs in different browsers and so on, but she sees everything in one single place. So what does need her attention? For example, submit travel expense report, which is due in 12 days. She sees that if she would click on that, she would jump directly into the system. Or because she has a lot of projects, what's a project summary from this, in this case, pushed from S4? Or because she's also an employee, so to say. So what are her goals and what is the status? What is the progress of her goals? For example, reduce customer complaints. But not only this, yes, she is one employee, but she's also a manager. So she wants to see how her team is doing. Like, how is the satisfaction? Is it decreasing? Is it increasing? She sees here over the calendar weeks how the satisfaction trend is. And not only that, but she could see content by title, the relevant workspaces for her, as we could see before, for example, the parental leave workspace. And this is kind of convenient and nice and easy for her because in now what 1 minute she saw all the information that are relevant for her and she can act on that. In the news section, because especially in these times, you need to keep yourself updated. So, what are the Corona guidelines? What are other relevant stories? How is it about surveys and so on? Everything that she wants to know from her company, from her employer, she can find in the news section. And as I said, she has also responsibility. So she's a manager. She needs to approve and reject items. And that's the reason why we have um, a central inbox task center here directly in the work zone where all the tasks and the workflows come together in one place. Here directly she can click on the items on the single workflows and approve and reject in her work zone directly. In workspaces, for example, she can easily create a new workspace. For example, she has responsibility for a new team. Let's call it new team. She can set the workspace permissions on her own. Is it a public one? Is it a private one? Since it's a team workspace, I would suggest a private one. So what's the collaboration level in there? Who can invite whom? What's the upload policy? Everything she, on her own as an end user, can do directly in her work zone. She creates a workspace in this case and shows one of the most prominent templates that are provided from SAP. So here, SAP already shows you these widgets were important for other customers, so maybe this is now also important for you and your company. In here, she can, as you can see here on the right side, enter the page settings on her own. Since she created the workspace, she's the one who's administrating it now. So she hits the button of edit, and in the edit mode, she gets some recommendation how to position the widgets. Also, as an end user, quite nice because maybe you don't know it immediately how to do it. And here, as you can see, she can add widgets as she like. So add widget, and with this, she accesses the content repository, meaning the Fiori apps, groups. So every Fiori app is assigned to a group. So maybe she wants to see now manager services, which is a Fiori app group, or single specific Fiori apps. Then we have for sure the normal standard content management features like having images, texts, videos, and so on. And down here, she finds the cards and widgets. So, for example, when she wants to see the latest information from Jira, or she wants to see the contact details of an expert in terms of HR or controlling, then she can access these UI integration cards, as we call it, in here. I want to show you now how it could look like when this is already done. So I prepared a project ACME workspace here. In Stephanie's case, this is super convenient. She can see the revenue data through the calendar weeks, as well as I already said, for example, the Jira issues, because I mean, every project is somehow now related to IT. So it could be nice to see directly the Jira issues. She can also filter here in this little micro app, as we call it, UI integration card, as well as she access here different widgets that are important for her. With this, Stephanie had a great entry in her day. She could start her day in one single central entry point and has now the possibility to act on the information that she already seen for her, prioritized to her needs, to her role, and to her preferences. So in Stephanie's company, so her employer also uses Microsoft Teams, since this is a tool that a lot of companies out there use. We want to provide, or we want to show you now that it's not in either WorkZone or Microsoft Teams, but that it can be a with. So here, this is a normal Microsoft Teams UI, and you can hit directly from your Microsoft Teams to WorkZone. So here you find the most relevant information like my inbox and my workspace. So the inbox, as you can see here, you can directly approve and reject the workflows that you were used to do in WorkZone 2, but that you could also do through Microsoft Teams. But not only this. I mean, you know it probably, you have a lot of different Teams spaces everywhere. So now you want to combine the information. So as you can see here, we have a parental leave team space in here. But how cool would it be if you could combine it directly to your specific workspace linked to parental leave? So we say here at the top, integrate a specific workspace, and we scroll down to parental leave. With this set, we now integrate the specific workspace of parental leave into Microsoft Teams, meaning we combine the information. And this is actually a nice use case where you can see that it's not in the end information chaos, but that you can get and benefit from the synergies in here. So for Stephanie, it's quite nice. So she has no need to jump for now into WorkZone itself, but to work into WorkZone through Microsoft Teams.
Now, after we had a look in Stephanie's life and how SAP WorkZone helped her with that, I would like to introduce you now to David. He chooses first a new connector from a catalog because he wants to develop a new UI integration card. Then he actually develops a new UI integration card in the Business Application Studio. And third, he will enable the new UI integration card in SAP WorkZone.
So now I chose a little example for you, a demo example, where I want to take these information of Google Drive and develop a new UI integration card with the latest uploaded documents in Google Drive, and then we will deploy it into WorkZone. You can see here I created a folder named SAP and 3 different file types, picture, Word document, and the PowerPoint. And now let's have a look into how we can get this information into a UI integration card. For this, we go into our SAP Cloud Platform cockpit. On the left side, you see the navigation pane with the overview, the services, subscriptions, and so on. We will go straight forward into the subscriptions. Here you can find all the services that I am subscribed to. Among all the others, it's the Business Application Studio, where we will go in a minute, and Open Connectors. So on the left side, you see again the navigation pane. And on the landing page, you have the options to explore the catalog, to view the API docs, and so on. In our case, we go straight forward to the catalog, where you can find a third-party service provider, as for example Adobe, but also Salesforce, ServiceNow, Google, and so on and so on. In our case, I already assigned an instance for Google Drive. So we can go directly in this instance, and in the API docs, you find the information that you will need for your UI integration card developed in the Business Application Studio. So going here to the folders section, and in here to the get folders contents, you can try this out and insert, because our folder is called SAP. I will call this path /SAP. Execute. Now we get the curl and the request URL, and these are the information that we will need to build our UI integration card. So summarizing this first section, David went into the SAP Cloud Platform cockpit. He went straight to the open connectors. He browsed through the catalog and wants now to take the Google Drive instance information to insert this in the UI integration card. So now we have all the information that we need for connecting to my Google Drive instance via open connectors. And now we can go to the Business Application Studio to develop a new UI integration card. We create for this a dev space, calling TechEd demo. We can choose the kind of application as well as the extensions that we need. Here in our case, we want to use the development tools for Work Zone, where we can choose from various templates. The dev space is running, and we head directly into it. Here you find the environment for developing business apps, and in our case we want to create a project from template, meaning a UI integration card where we find the following information description. So we need to have a project name, let's say Google Drive. We want to choose the highlight card, so we have different UI integration cards here. The title can be left out, the subtitle too, and the mobile card can be enabled or disabled directly in the Business Application Studio. So we have here, as I showed you before, a UI integration card with the manifest JSON. Here you can find all the details as well as our curl from the open connectors. So these under content information are from open connectors. When you don't want to see it in the coding style, but more in nicely edited layout mode, you can find this here. Here again, also to say false or true for the mobile compatibility, and all the data to the open connectors Google Drive instance that I just created. Looks from this perspective good. Now let's have a little preview into the UI integration card itself. We see here the documents that are in my Google Drive, connecting via this dynamic URL to the Google Drive. And now, after saying, all right, it looks good, let's deploy it to Work Zone. So now the UI integration card is deployed successfully, and we can go into the SAP Work Zone and see this UI integration card there. So now let's have a little look if the UI integration card with the Google Drive information are inside my work zone. For this, I access the administration console, go into cards and widgets, and on the bottom, I will find my Google Drive UI integration card. I enable it here. And for testing it, I can go to my workspace and I edit. And I added a new widget, which is in our case the Google Drive card. List card with uploaded documents, publish. And here I find my enabled mobile card and UI integration card directly in Work Zone. For proving now that it works, I will now update my Google Drive with a new picture in this case, namely of my team. I will return to my Work Zone and refresh. And here I can find as a fourth, or in this case first entry, team ACME JPEG, what I just uploaded.
And now back to you, Uli.
Thank you, Desiree. Great demos. So here we see everything Work Zone at a glance. So let's look again at what we saw in the demo. First of all, we saw this really a modern intranet experience with a self-service intranet. It's employee focused, so employees see their personalized and role-based content, and the central entry point for business applications with a Launchpad is an integral part of the solution as well. Last not least, every line of business can provide company communication, and this really drives engagement because it's not a one-directional way, it's really bi-directional. Employees can provide feedback, can use wikis and comments and vote and rate. There is team collaboration available, both in the product and with a deep integration in Microsoft Teams. The product is mobile ready. There is a native mobile app available for both iOS and Android that spans all the functionality, and by this really provides a multi-channel experience. So no matter if the employee wants to access via desktop or mobile, and you can reach out to all employees, including the deskless workers. Guided experiences, workflows are supported, and tasks are available in your inbox. There is an enterprise search with a Google-like search experience. You can integrate your experience management with Qualtrics. The solution comes with a full-blown knowledge base. So you can build employee self-service communities, including a knowledge base, and this can even happen including integration in Service Cloud. The business apps from SAP can be integrated via Fiori apps or UI integration cards. Furthermore, we saw in the demo that UI integration cards help you to extend the solution, so you can build integrations in third-party applications as well. There's a full capability of extension spanning from low-code tools to developer tools. Last not least, there's an out-of-the-box integration in conversational AI with machine learning and chatbots. So with this overview, let's take a short look at the architecture of the solution. SAP Work Zone is a suite product. This brings together all the UX topics and mobile. So we saw the workspaces in Work Zone that integrate in Microsoft Teams, the Launchpad, where this concept of all the Launchpads comes together at one place. And it's an integral part of the solution. So in the same URL, you access your Fiori tiles. The mobile app based on the mobile services is available. A native app where you could use MDK or SDK to develop your own mobile app. My inbox with all the tasks coming together. The workflow with the guided experiences. The developer environment and development tools with Business Application Studio. And obviously, if an end user wants to change the theme, for example, to dark mode, this applies to both on desktop and mobile. So a theming that spans all the suite products you've seen. Furthermore, there are out-of-the-box integrations available in conversational AI and with SAP Cloud Platform Integration Suite, formerly known as Open Connectors, there are more than 160 third-party services that can be integrated. But even without an integration suite, we natively integrate in standard apps from SAP, both on-premise and cloud, and we integrate in Microsoft Teams and Microsoft SharePoint. The solution is a cloud solution based on Cloud Platform, Cloud Foundry. So now we saw an overview about the solution at a glance, and we looked at the architecture. So how does it look like if we think from an industry or business perspective, business area, line of business? So on the one hand side, Work Zone, as we saw, integrates with S/4HANA and other business applications. It provides rich collaboration with workspaces, with all the social software capabilities such as feed, forums, question and answers, idea management, knowledge base, wikis, profile. We covered that there's a native mobile app available, both iOS and Android. Integration with additional services, such as conversational AI, workflow, and so on. We spoke about the development and extension environment with the UI integration card concept and the workflows, and the integration with Microsoft SharePoint and Teams. And now, in addition to Work Zone, we are introducing the product SAP Work Zone for HR. And this is a perfect example of the further direction what we are doing at SAP and in our ecosystem. So we're building out content for industries and for lines of business, starting with a partnership of Cloud Platform and SuccessFactors for Work Zone for HR. You see the content that is provided in Work Zone for HR. So there are cards such as org chart or paycheck, guided experiences, workflow, such as spot award or return to office, and there are templates for home pages and templates for workspaces. Think about a nice experience combining formal and informal learning with blended learning and curated content. TechEd is a developer conference. So the second demo exactly looked into this. With the SAP Business Application Studio, SAP provides SAP developer tools. And the concept of UI integration cards is a great concept that now really brings the intelligent enterprise to life. Because you can start with small content building blocks. They are declarative, consistent, and easy to consume. And there's a way of custom build cards to visualize external system content. So you can either integrate, for example, a third-party ticketing system or another learning environment into your environment. It's seamless next to other content coming from SAP or web content. There are templates available for many UI integration card types. You see some examples below on the screenshot, such as an object card, an analytical card, and a table card. So cards from different business applications can be added to the workspace. This is what we saw with the page builder and the widgets that can be added in the demo as well. Together with SAP Work Zone and SAP Work Zone for HR, SAP introduces another product at TechEd, SAP Cloud Platform Launchpad. SAP Cloud Platform Launchpad service is available as a standalone product to provide the central entry point for your business applications. With SAP Work Zone, with this concept of the digital workplace, we go beyond this, as you saw with the suite product, combining portal capabilities, Launchpad capabilities, mobile, collaboration, workflow, inbox, and much more. So the Launchpad is an integral part of Work Zone, and we add more capabilities such as set the knowledge base, the mobile app, web content management integration, and workflow. Another highlight of the solution, from my perspective, is the deep integration we provide with Microsoft. We saw in the demo the Microsoft Teams integration. We also already spoke about the SharePoint integration. Let's look into this again. Typically, if you have team collaboration, you work in teams. So with this integration here, you automatically create a corresponding workspace in SAP, or you can add your existing workspace in SAP. This might be in a sales organization, a deal room for your opportunity, in a learning organization, maybe a learning room or a training center. And there can be various use cases for different industries, obviously. With a SharePoint integration, we offer that everybody works on the same content. We even provide a content widget that you can easily add the content into your homepage or workspace. And for an end user, you don't see the difference from the behavior if you work in SAP Work Zone on the content, that this content technically sits in a repository in SharePoint. Furthermore, if an user doesn't even want to navigate away from Microsoft, they can even access their personal private space, so my inbox and my workspace, directly in Microsoft Teams. Obviously, everything is supported with single sign-on and all the security and personalized role-based capabilities that are required for enterprise-grade software. Yeah, to summarize what we saw today, SAP Work Zone really provides great customer value, and it is really of great value for different personas, for an end user, from an admin perspective, a developer persona. So let's cover some of them. From a user perspective, we saw it's really a better way to personalize the experience. It allows you to find your information more easily, less time searching, and you can conduct business anywhere with a multi-channel access. It doesn't matter if you want to access on mobile or at the desktop, for example, for remote working. In a line of business, it increases employee engagement. So there's more adoption, more employees using the software. By this, it increases productivity, and it really helps bring the intelligent enterprise to life. Last not least, it improves business agility. And from an IT perspective, it provides the unified experience. So all employees have single sign-on. They can access everything under the same URL, no matter if it's collaboration, if it's business application, analytical data, or documents. By this, we deliver an integrated user experience, and IT and development can extend and customize the solution to the needs of the company and the specific business area, industry, and last not least, obviously, the end user. I'd like to recommend some additional sessions. especially the customer session from customer Döhler. Döhler was part of the beta program, implemented SAP Work Zone, and speaks about their experience. One example, they mentioned that they want to reach out in the coronavirus pandemic to all employees, including the deskless workers. And the concepts developed to have a secure access, including bring your own device with SAP Work Zone and mobile support, was one great driver. Another example they mentioned was, in the past, they published information in a portal, they published information in GEM collaboration, and last not least, they had issues bring it to life, as said, on mobile. All this comes together. And they provided great feedback to have a smooth transition path to migrate content from portal solutions and from SAP GEM. Before we end the session, I would like to recommend that you can continue your learning experience on TechEd. And this is, on the one hand side, you can deepen your learning experience at TechEd by activating your free access to the SAP Learning Hub. And by the way, we just introduced a new training, CLD 600E, which is a 3-day deep dive training for SAP Work Zone, addressing both customers and consultants. And there's even a certification available for this training. So please take the opportunity to access the SAP Learning Hub. And you can deepen and validate your SAP solution skills, again, by subscribing to Learning Hub. Thank you again for attending the session. And here are our contact details: desiree.moeller@sap.com and you.hoffmann@sap.com. Please feel free and reach out to us. We are happy to engage further.